Good, good.
And even their parents, I mean, great.
And are there names on the back of the envelopes or
No,
nothing?
some of
Okay.
them, I know who, Catherine knows who they are.
Well, and I have Catherine's, all that work she did, so I have that.
Yeah, you can probably, from that, I mean, I can tell who's an aunt, but I can't tell whether it's Aunt Sis or Aunt.
Right, right.
But you can.
Yeah.
Figure out.
Or I'll let the grandkids do that someday.
Yeah.
I may never have time. Because once I retire, up at the ranch, I think I'm going to be busy. But that's okay. I don't mind. I'm not complaining. Right, Rox?
Roxy,
You complaining?
you're looking good.
Roxy gets to go to the ranch tomorrow.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Okay, so we'll just do a couple minutes if we
Okay.
can. So say your whole name, Pop.
Frederick Roy Ledwell.
Yeah, it says Frederick on the door. That's weird. So, and you go by Roy.
That's true.
Why is that?
Because there were 3 Fredericks in a row. Grandpa Frederick,
Oh.
Father Frederick, and me.
Oh.
And it's confusing when you're all in the same
Yeah.
vicinity, So,
Old Fred, young Fred, baby Fred.
so they called me Roy right away.
Oh, okay. Because you guys each had different middle names.
Yeah. My father's middle name was Rene.
Really?
R-E-N-E.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Now, is that like kind of French or, because he was English, right?
Yeah, probably more Belgian than French,
Okay.
because somehow they had ties in Belgium. I don't know what they were. I really don't know much about the Ludlows over in England.
Yeah,
I figure there must be a bunch more Ludlows around.
I would think.
Yeah.
But, so Grandpa was born in England?
Oh yeah, he's
Okay.
out of London.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all out of London. Aunt Dolly and Uncle Donald.
Uh-huh.
They're all out of England.
But Grandpa didn't stay there. Did he grow up there really, or do you know when he
Now,
came?
You're talking in my sense, right? Who
I was
would
talking
call
about,
Grandpa.
okay, who you would call Grandpa, yes.
Yeah, and he was a wonderful man, I always thought.
Yeah,
The rest of, I don't know, the other 2, my father and Aunt Dolly thought he was a drunk, but
really?
I never smelled alcohol.
Mm-hmm,
I had a suspicion he sipped a beer once in a while, but
mm-hmm. Huh, I wonder, why would they think that?
I don't know, Grandma they thought the world of.
Yeah.
They called her Mum.
Oh.
Of course it was their mother.
Yeah.
But, they thought she was just wonderful.
Hmm.
And I knew her because she died in 1938.
Mm-hmm.
And of course that was 8 years, I was 8 years old. And I always thought she was a wonderful person too. But I couldn't understand why they had so much against Grandpa.
Yeah. Hmm. Very mysterious.
He had the first chauffeur's license in Switzerland.
Really?
Oh yeah, he's distinguished.
I guess, that's cool.
He worked for a guy that I think was head of Shell Oil,
Yeah,
who had a lot of money,
evidently.
and who moved from England to Switzerland, and then he brought all that family with him because he needed Grandpa as a driver. And that's how we were all educated in Switzerland.
Oh, interesting. But now, wait a second. So your grandma died in 1938. Did she come here? How did you meet her? Because you were born in San Francisco, so.
Well, the whole family. My father went to Australia, married my mother, and then emigrated to California.
Australia?
Yeah. They lived in Sydney, Australia.
But wait, didn't Omaida come from Switzerland?
Yes. She had emigrated to Australia.
I did not know that. And now, so where did they meet?
In Sydney, Australia.
Wow, very interesting.
We're an international family.
We are. Who knew? Okay, so he went to Australia like on vacation or something?
No, probably looking for a job. This was in the 30s, and already things were getting tight for jobs.
Well, it must have been in the 20s, because you were born in 1930.
Yeah, that's true.
You were born after they were married, weren't you, Pop?
I think so. I have no proof either way. I don't care.
No.
By now, who cares?
Interesting. All right. Well, that's interesting. So, did they get married in Australia?
Yeah.
And then they came to the. They didn't live there very long, I would assume.
No, I don't think so either. But you read that letter from Omaida.
Yeah, but I don't remember seeing anything about Australia in there.
Well, that's where they went out for their wedding dinner, if you read the letter. And he disappeared right after dinner. And the reason he disappeared was he had to go out and borrow money to pay for the dinner.
Oh my God. He was a character.
Yeah, I call him a very lowly character. I really don't
Really?
think much of him at all.
Hmm.
And my mother had figured him. He's a womanizer,
Yeah.
and he was always conning people into bankrolling them into the weird things he wanted to invent.
Yeah.
He was probably pretty sharp,
Yeah.
but no sense of money. I mean, he always had almost a Rolex watch, and
Yeah.
drove these big packets that were old, but great big things. You know, he liked to make a big show.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you can kind of tell from some of the pictures of that time that he's very handsome and just always dressed nice, and, you could tell he really cared about his looks, I think.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Interesting.
Always had a suit on and white shirt, even if he was working on a car, didn't matter.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's probably why Omaida fell in love with him, right?
I guess.
I mean, that's how those guys get
Yeah.
married. I mean,
But when I was 1 year, I wasn't even 1 year old, she had figured him out,
yeah.
and she went back to Switzerland
Uh-huh.
with intent to stay. But she couldn't get anybody to help her.
Oh. You mean you had to have somebody like sponsor you or something?
No, you have to have a place to live and somebody take care of me, and it's a mess.
Because she was born in Switzerland.
Yeah.
So she didn't have any family left there?
Well, the family's a mess. I never understood. Her
Oh.
father got divorced,
Oh.
and over there, that was a criminal
Yeah,
offense.
yeah, back
He
then.
remarried, and the
Yeah.
whole thing didn't work out at all for that. So she went back there, got rejected by the Swiss,
Mm-hmm.
and came back here.
Hmm.
I don't know where she got the money to do all this. Well, maybe she saved all her life. I got a feeling she did.
Yeah.
That was saving that took her.
Well, she was really good at saving. That's
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, cool.